Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has written to Chief Justice of India CJI Chandrachud. The government is suggesting the inclusion of a government nominee in the decision-making process, that to shortlist the judges. The government's move has triggered a political showdown. Here's a report about how precisely is this suggestion being seen by our netas.
It's Narendra Modi government versus the Supreme Court once again. Days after the court's critical comments on delay in appointment of judges, Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has written to the Chief Justice of India, CJI Chandrachud. In a letter dated 6 January, sources say Rijiju has sought the presence of government nominees in the Search-cum-Evaluation Committee that will provide inputs on suitable candidates to the Collegium. The minister adds that in the case of appointment of High Court judges, nominees of state governments should also be included in the panel. The minister's letter has set off a political showdown, with the opposition attacking the BJP for violating the constitution. Minister Rijiju hit back at the opposition, saying his letter was in accordance with Supreme Court's verdict that struck down the National Judicial Appointments Commission Act. The Supreme Court in November and again in December had pulled up the government for this stand, pointing out that only 2 judges in a separate opinion had given the suggestion for a relook. The clear verdict has been to implement the Memorandum of Procedure finalized in 2017. Meanwhile, over 300 vacancies remain in the High Courts and 5 in the Apex Court itself. The opposition is calling the government's intervention a sinister move.
First and foremost, why this concerted, coordinated, sudden action? That question is not answered by anybody. Why suddenly this thing? It's been years since the NJAC judgment. Nothing has happened about the basic structure for decades. Suddenly why? This hints at a much larger purpose, a control freak purpose, a imposition, dictatorial approach purpose.
The legal fraternity is also unhappy.
The recent communication which has come in the public domain from the Law Minister doesn't appear to be a well understood of the legal position. Either he has not read the judgment, or he's not understood the judgment, or he's being advised wrongly, because clearly the judgment does not entitle the government to ask for amending the Collegium itself.
The Collegium safeguards the independence of the judiciary. Now, that was sought to be undone by a constitutional amendment by this government. That constitutional amendment was struck down. This also goes against the theory of separation of powers. Can you imagine the law minister then writing, saying that, you know, on all matters where the government is involved, why don't you please seat us on the bench itself?
The law minister's letter has only escalated the face-off between the judiciary and the executive over appointments. With Anisha Mathur in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.